GIE 2018 is over. And I haven't driven this truck since, when did I drive this truck last? Tuesday morning of last week. Because Wednesday I drove this one here to do all my running around. And I can't find the keys. Look back there, you see that bad boy? There will be a video on that eventually. That is the BR200. I'm gonna show it to you real quick. Ow, trying to climb in. This is the BR200. I just went and picked it up from my steel dealer Saturday, probably an hour after I got back when my flight landed. I ordered that for a very specific reason. I know with the 600 and 700, everybody's probably like, what the heck did you order that thing for? I ordered it for a very good reason, and I will explain that to you when I do the video on that. I'm really interested on doing a review video on that bad boy. Well, you know what, I'll just tell you real quick, since I'm screwing around here this morning anyway. My 13-year-old son wants to do leaf cleanups with me this year, and he's been doing a few with me actually. We've only been doing leaves for a couple weeks, just mild ones, small ones, and he wants to really get into them. Well, my BR700, there's no way. I mean, he's just a tiny little guy. And my 600, he puts it on, and he'd never admit it, but I mean, it's a lot for him. It's a lot of backpack blower for him, and it's heavy. But he does it anyway. So I ordered him the BR200, but my 7-year-old is always coming outside with us and wants to help us a lot, and he tries carrying around my BG86, which he can. It gets really heavy for him quick. I mean, when I carried around doing bigger properties, if I grab that one, it's the same thing. It makes my shoulder sore after carrying it for quite a while, you know. But so for my little 7-year-old, and you can imagine it's a lot. So I ordered that BR200 or whatever the heck it is, beating the 200. Whatever. And I figure when I go and do leaf cleanup jobs that I can take him, the ones I can take him on, he will, here's my keys right there. Found them. What I will do is, I will put him on that 200, and he can go in the bushes and stuff and blow out all that stuff in the bushes and still use a backpack blower. He can blow out all them bushes while I'm blowing out everything else, and then I don't have to crawl my butt in through those bushes to blow all that stuff out, you know. He'll do it. He'll take care of all that part for me. I know it sounds kind of messed up. Isn't there like labor laws, like slave labor laws against that stuff? But he'll live. It'll build character. So he's gonna do that. I mean, I can still put him on the 600, and I can use the 700 on certain jobs. But once he gets tired out, he can go to that 200. And you know, and like the little ones we do close, like you guys know, I do, you know, my house, and then I do like 3 neighbors that way, the one across the street. And I just did those leaves before I left, and there's a bunch there again. So when I do the ones that are close by like this, you know, I can put that 200 on my little 7-year-old and let him help out, because he's all about it. He's super eager to do it. So, you know, we were talking about this at the GIE. There's a lot of kids that don't want to do anything. So I might as well jump on it while I have these kids eager to work now, and keep building that work ethic in them. Okay, so another great thing about going to the GIE is you get answers to stupid, simple little problems that you never knew. I've had a problem with my Walker B since the day that I got it. And it's been a crazy season, so I haven't had time to really address it. I've just kind of dealt with it. And so when I was at the GIE on the inside, I met a ton of fantastic Walker guys, really, really nice guys. But I met Dean Walker, and I was telling him about my problem, and he said, "Didn't your dealer fix it?" I said, "Well, in my dealer's defense, he doesn't even know. I haven't even told him. You can still hear my voice is kind of gone. 4th Street Live will do that to you." But anyway, I said in his defense, I haven't even told him. It's just been a crazy season. I haven't had time. And he goes, "Oh, that's an easy fix. I'll show you." And he took me over to a mower and showed me. So I'm about to do it right now. But let me explain to you what I'm talking about. Okay, so on the decks you have these pins, right? In order to flip the deck up, for those of you who don't know on walkers, that's what latches onto there when you pick it up. But in order to flip it up, you got to lift this pin and you pull the pin out, okay? And you do that on both sides. Well, this one over here has been so insanely stiff that it's super hard to get up. When I do, I can't, like I can wiggle it, and it's like you can't really get it out of there. I've had to tap it on that side with a hammer, and then when I put the deck back down, I tap it over here with a hammer to get it back in. Well, and some of you that may already know this, I may sound like a real idiot here, but I'm okay with that. You guys know my channel. I do what I do to help the idiots like me. But apparently, if you adjust that in or out, it will change it so that this pin will slide easy. It goes, just adjust that Allen key until the pin slides in and out real easy. Then you're good to go. Tighten it back up. Well, I told him, I said, I always thought that was for adjusting the pitch of the deck. And he said, you can tweak the deck a little bit by playing with those on each side. But he goes, it's not really what they're there for. He goes, so just adjust it a little bit till your pin slides in and out real easy and you're good to go. So we're going to do that. And it is a 3/16 is the size. So that fits in there. Let me get a wrench now. And so I can loosen that up, that nut around it. Oh, you know what? Check that out. That nut on there is already loose. Uh-oh. Well, good thing I checked this. So now we're going to mess with this. Let me just see how tight this thing is here. We're going to mess with this here, and I'm going to find out if this really works. Not that I doubt Dean, but, you know. Look at that. 1.5 screws of that. That's all it took. And that slides in and out super easy. Down, up. You've got to be kidding me. Isn't that crazy? I've been dealing with it for 6 months. I never thought once in at all to do that. God bless you, Dean Walker. God bless you. So there's a good feeling. By the way, we're rolling with the Toro 30 today, the Great Dane 52, and the Walker B with the 56. But I thought that coming back today, I was going to have to jump in the truck and go get gas. I thought all the cans were empty. I forgot. I filled them up before I left. I got 3 5-gallon cans that are all full, ready to go. And my 2.5 mix way up there is full too. I was using my head for once. Can you believe it? Those of you that met me might be a little shocking now, huh? Threw this in there today is something to break it up. I'm always doing mowing videos with all the other mowers, and a few people had asked me at the GIE, don't you ever push mow anything? And I do have a few push mow accounts actually, and that's why I bought this Toro 30. I love this mower. I know there's a bunch of different reviews on it, but you know, some guys love it, some guys hate it. I love it. I've never had an issue with it. This is my first year using it, but I've used it on hills, flat ground, you name it. And I don't think I could ever go back to a regular push mower. So for me, it works. And for me, once this thing dies, I'd buy another one in a second. Okay, there's
a neighborhood I've wanted to get into for a long time. It's like a 1.5 miles from my house, and I've never been able to, and I don't know why, I just haven't. But this is Wednesday morning before I left for the GIE. I came and did an estimate on this house, and the lady got a hold of me while I was gone, and she said absolutely. So now it's for sale, but who knows how long it'll be before it sells. But I'm going to do this one now and make it look good. You can tell somebody did it probably with a homeowner's rider, went round robin, but I'm going to stripe it up the best I can if it stripes well, and edge the driveway and trim it out real nice and put one of my signs in the front yard, and we'll see. I'll show you guys what it looks like when I'm done. All right, well, cut up that side there. I'll show you that from a different angle in a minute, but the edging of this driveway was insane. It was all mud. I kept having to clean out the edger. It could be better, but it will get better after I do it a few times. But stuff hadn't ever been weed whacked. The stuff along the house is up like this tall. There's the back. Did inside there. Little gate here. But I did everything with the Walker B. Cut it down on 3 inches. You guys didn't get to see the back before I started, I know. But it all striped up pretty nice with that Walker B. Well, then again, it always does. So it's a pretty big yard. Looks real nice. Came out real good. But this is what it looks like from the front. So it looks good. It was pretty funny because me and Kevin and Jason were in the rental car on our way back to the house, and after the GIE, I think after 4th Street, I don't know, but we mentioned, I think I mentioned something about how I talked to Keith Kalfas since the first time I'd ever talked to him, and I'd really wanted to meet him, and Keith and I were in like a 40-minute conversation down on 4th Street Live, and a couple people had mentioned me, said that was kind of funny. We saw you over there with Keith, and usually nobody has a conversation with Keith for 40 minutes. And I said, well, I don't know, that's kind of cool. Maybe I had his attention or something, or maybe I just was sitting there talking to him and he couldn't wait to get away. But either way, so we are in the car on the way back to the house, and I mentioned to Kevin and Jason that we were talking about, you know, his book and how the landscaping book that he had written, not the window one, I've never read that one, but the landscaping one I'd read so many times or listened to it on audio so many times that I know the whole book. And I was talking to Keith about how I'd gotten so much out of that, but it wasn't even really much about landscaping at all. It was just the other meanings in the book and how it relates to so many things. And I would not that, you know, I am trying to endorse or promote his book by any means, but if anybody's looking for a good read and you haven't read it yet, that's one I would go for. But so anyway, we were talking about that, and I had mentioned to Kevin and Jason that you know, I told Keith that I know how hard it is and how much time that takes, you know, writing a book. I've been there. And Kevin was like, wait, what? He goes, you've written a book? And I said, well, 3 actually. And he said, how come you never talk about it on YouTube? And I don't know, I guess I just didn't think it was an important thing. And he said, you should mention it. And so for those of you that don't know, I've written and published 3 books. The first one was called Forever at Once. The second one was called Verbal Intimacy. And the third one was called Lights of the Outer Banks. So now you know. They were all available for purchase before, but I had a 7-year contract on each one, and I never renewed them afterwards. So they're all still available for Kindle download. If anybody's interested, I don't really care. I'm not trying to promote my book, and maybe that's why I never mentioned it, because I didn't want to. I'm not the look at me kind of guy. So, you know, I didn't really, I never really thought about it. So you know, if anybody's interested and you want to know, there it is. Or if you just wanted to look it up and, you know, just to see it, it'll show you the book cover and give you a little piece about what it's about, then there you go. So now everybody knows.